29 players were drafted before TJ Watt in the 2017 draft. TJ Watt is one of the best players in the NFL today. He's a 7-time Pro Bowler with over 100 sacks in his career. But today, we're going to find out how those players drafted before him turned out and compare the other edge rushers to him. Pick Myles Garrett was drafted to the Browns. Coming out of high school, he was the number 2 recruit in the nation. He was a star in college and had 3 really good seasons at Texas A&M. Going into the NFL draft, he ran a 4.64 40-yard dash, benched 225 33 times, and had an incredible 41-inch vertical. As a rookie, he had 7 sacks in just 11 games played. With a fully healthy following 2018 season, his sack total jumped to 13.5 with 29 quarterback hits. This gave him his first Pro Bowl nod. Following 2019 season, he couldn't play a full 16-game season due to his suspension after hitting Mason Rudolph in the head with a helmet, but he had 10 sacks in 10 games. The following 2021 and 2022 season, he had 16 sacks each. In 2023, he won Defensive Player of the Year. Overall, he's a 6-time Pro Bowler, 4-time All-Pro, and with 102.5 sacks in his career. Once we get to TJ Watt, we can compare them to see who's better. Mitchell Trubisky was drafted to the Chicago Bears 2nd overall. Coming out of high school, he was a 4-star recruit who committed to play at North Carolina. He finally got to start in his junior year. He put up 3,748 yards, 30 touchdowns to 6 interceptions, considering he'd only started 1 year at North Carolina. Heading into his rookie season, he wasn't named the starter, but after a 1-3 start to the season, head coach John Fox benched Glennon and named Trubisky the starter. Overall, his rookie season was just meh. In 12 starts, he threw for 2,193 yards, 9 total touchdowns to 7 interceptions. Heading into 2018, head coach John Fox was fired and Chiefs offensive coordinator Matt Nagy came in. In week 4 of that season, Mitch Trubisky flashed against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He threw for an insane 6 touchdowns en route to a 48-10 victory. He led the Bears to the playoffs for the first time since 2010. He put up good numbers too, going for 3,223 passing yards, 24 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. In that playoff game against the Eagles, he didn't play particularly well, but good enough to put together a drive at the end of the game to win it. He had them in field goal range with 10 seconds in the game where Parkey missed the field goal, but things were up. Trubisky was even named to the Pro Bowl. Unfortunately, after that season, things went downhill for Mitch. Over the next 2 seasons with the Bears, he'd be benched on multiple occasions until they decided to just let him hit free agency, where he signed a 1-year contract with the Buffalo Bills. After that, he signed a 2-year deal with Pittsburgh and now is back on the Buffalo Bills today. Number 3 pick, defensive lineman Solomon Thomas was selected by the San Francisco 49ers. Coming out of high school, he was a 4-star recruit who committed to play at Stanford. Going into the NFL, critics questioned his 280-pound weight. He's too small for an interior lineman and too big for an edge rusher. In the NFL, this just was true for Solomon. He never developed into more than just a solid role player. After 3 seasons with the 49ers, he went to the Raiders on a 1-year contract. He then played 3 seasons with the Jets. He even recorded a career high in sacks at 5 in 2023. More recently, he signed a 2-year contract with the Dallas Cowboys. It's safe to say TJ Watt would have been a better pick here. 4 pick, running back Leonard Fournette was drafted by the Jacksonville Jaguars. Coming out of high school, he was the number 1 recruit in his class. He stayed home and played at LSU. Leonard was such a high prospect in college, they referred to him as the next Adrian Peterson. That's huge expectations for an 18-year-old. He lived to all the hype at LSU. As a sophomore, he rushed for 1,953 yards and 22 touchdowns. His junior season was plagued with injuries, so he couldn't match that total again. As a rookie, he was pretty good, 1,040 rushing yards and 9 touchdowns. They also made it to the AFC Championship game, nearly defeating Brady and company. His 2018 season was plagued by injuries plus a 1-game suspension, leading him to only playing in 8 games. In 2019, he bounced back with 1,152 yards, but only managed 3 touchdowns. Then, a week before the 2020 season, they straight up cut him after not being able to trade him. A week later, he signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to join Tom Brady. In the regular season, he didn't do much for the Bucs, but come postseason, he was tagged with the nickname Playoff Lenny. In the playoffs, he came up big and clutch. In 2021, he re-signed with the Bucs. He had 812 rushing yards with 8 touchdowns. In 2022, he got a 3-year, $21 million contract. That's a nice payday for him, but he was released by the team in 2023. He last played for the Buffalo Bills in 2023. Number 5 pick. Wide receiver Corey Davis was drafted by the Tennessee Titans. Coming out of high school, Corey was only a 2-star recruit who committed to play at his only Division I offer at Western Michigan. He had a stellar career, putting up 1,400 plus yards 3 times. He's the FBS leader in career receiving yards with 5,285. Heading into the NFL, it was shocking that he went so high in the draft, considering he went to a smaller school. As a rookie, he had an underwhelming season dealing with hamstring injuries. He had 34 catches for 375 yards, but he did have a 2-touchdown game in the playoffs versus the Patriots. He did have quite a good second season in the NFL, going for 65 receptions for 891 yards, with 4 touchdowns in 2018. He led the team in every major receiving category. In 2019, he took a step back statistically due to A.J. Brown emerging and Derrick Henry becoming more of a focal point. In 2020, he finished with 984 yards, by far his best season yet. The Titans let him hit free agency, where he signed with the Jets on a 3-year deal worth $37.5 million. He played a couple injury-plagued seasons in New York before stepping away from football in 2023.
With the 6th pick.
Number 6. Safety Jamal Adams was selected by the New York Jets. Adams was a 5-star recruit who committed to LSU. Going into the NFL draft, he was considered one of the smartest, toughest safeties in the class. He was viewed as the future leader of the defense. He had a pretty solid rookie season with 83 tackles, 26 sacks, and 6 tackles for loss. Heading into 2018, Jamal Adams took his game to the next level. He had 115 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 13 tackles for loss, and 12 pass breakups. He was selected to the Pro Bowl and a second-team All-Pro selection. He truly became one of the best box safeties in the league. He had another elite season in 2019. After that season, Adams wanted a new deal, and the Jets weren't budging on it. So the Seattle Seahawks sent 2 first-round picks for him. In just 12 games in 2020, he put up 9.5 sacks, which is a record for a defensive back. Then in 2021, he had 0 sacks and a season-ending shoulder injury. Things went downhill from here. He lost his explosiveness and was terrible in coverage. He currently is a free agent.
With the 7th pick.
Number 7 pick, wide receiver Mike Williams was drafted by the Chargers. Coming out of high school, he was a 4-star recruit who committed to Clemson. After a successful college career, winning a national championship as a wide receiver 1. As a rookie, he suffered with injuries. In his second season, he had a great 10 touchdowns. In 2019, he hit the 1,000 mark for the first time, but struggled to score touchdowns. In 2021, he had 76 receptions for 1,146 yards with 9 touchdowns. He got a 3-year, $60 million contract after that season, but injuries continued to plague him until a torn ACL in 2023. He was eventually cut, signed by the Jets, then played a little bit in Pittsburgh. Today, he went back to the Chargers.
With the 8th.
Number 8 pick, Christian McCaffrey, was selected by the Carolina Panthers. Coming out of high school, he was a 4-star recruit who committed to Stanford. He had one of the greatest college careers ever for them, putting up nearly 8,000 all-purpose yards in 3 seasons. As a rookie, he showed promise as a receiving back with 651 receiving yards. In 2018, he truly broke out as an elite back. He had 1,098 rushing yards with 876 receiving yards and 13 total touchdowns. In 2019, he took his game to the next level with over 2,000 total yards. The next 2 seasons, he struggled with injuries. He was eventually traded to the 49ers, where he helped them tons. He won Offensive Player of the Year in 2023 for them. Hopefully in 2025, he can stay healthy and go back to being elite.
With the 9th
pick, speedster wideout John Ross was drafted by the Cincinnati Bengals. Coming out of high school, he was a 4-star recruit who committed to Washington. He had one really good season in college, then declared for the draft. Then he ran a 4.22 40-yard dash, which made him the fastest man in NFL history. But we all know how his career went in the NFL. It was a combination of injuries and being drafted way too high. He retired in 2023 due to the mental toll the game took on him.
With the
Number 10 pick, Patrick Mahomes was selected by the Kansas City Chiefs 10th overall. Coming out of high school, Mahomes was just a 3-star recruit who committed to Texas Tech. Mahomes put up historical numbers there. He was drafted by Andy Reid to sit behind Alex Smith while they developed him. Once the 2018 season started, he threw for 5,097 yards, 50 touchdowns to just 12 interceptions. Yeah, he went right to elite play in his first season starting. He won the MVP and became the 3rd QB in NFL history with 50-plus touchdowns and 5,000 yards. He would go on to lose the AFC Championship game to the Patriots. In 2019, he had 3 comeback wins in the playoffs and went on to win the Super Bowl versus the 49ers. This was the Chiefs' first title in 50 years. Fast forward to today, he's already a Hall of Famer before 30 years old, with lots left in the tank.
with the 11th
Number 11 pick, cornerback Marshawn Lattimore, was selected by the New Orleans Saints 11th overall. Coming out of high school, school, he was a 4-star recruit who committed to Ohio State. At Ohio State, he had one elite season as he dealt with injuries in his first two. As a rookie, he flashed his potential, winning Defensive Rookie of the Year and made the Pro Bowl. He continued elite play, especially as a man-to-man press corner. However, his ability to stay healthy has been a big concern in his career. He was traded to the Washington Commanders in 2024. Overall, he has been a great player when healthy. Number 12 pick. Deshaun Watson was selected by the Houston Texans 12th overall. Coming out of high school, he was a 5-star recruit who committed to Clemson. He broke all the Georgia high school state records for passing yards and touchdowns. His sophomore year at Clemson, he broke out as an elite quarterback. Watson led his team to the national championship with great numbers, but fell short to Alabama in the big game. In his junior season, he came back with vengeance, leading his team to the national championship game once again. This time, he won with a last-second clutch touchdown pass to Hunter Renfrow. As a rookie in the NFL, he was going off in his first 6 starts. He had 21 total touchdowns to 8 interceptions before tearing his ACL in practice. He finished second in Offensive Rookie of the Year with just 6 starts. Fast forward to 2019, he got a playoff win with some legendary moments against the Bills.
Watson, pressure off the edge. Watson survives it.
In 2020, he played elite football after his team traded away DeAndre Hopkins. After his legal controversy in 2021, he sat out a year while the Texans worked on a trade for him. He was traded to the Browns in 2022 and signed an insane, fully guaranteed $230 million contract. We all know this hasn't worked out and is the worst contract in NFL history. Number 13 pick. Edge rusher Haason Reddick was selected 13th overall by the Arizona Cardinals. Coming out of high school, he was a 1-star recruit. He was a 190-pound defensive back, not the edge rusher we know today. He walked on to Temple University, where he redshirted as a freshman. He bulked up to become a defensive end at this time and earned a scholarship. He broke out in his senior year with 10.5 sacks. Another thing that boosted him was his 4.52 40-yard dash.
Nice. 4.52.
In his first 3 seasons in the NFL, he struggled. This is because he was drafted as off-ball linebacker. In 2020, he moved back to playing the edge. In 2020, he had 12.5 sacks, 6 forced fumbles, and 15 tackles for loss. He then signed a 1-year prove-it deal with the Panthers. After that, he signed a 3-year contract with the Eagles. In 2022, he had 16 sacks, which was second in the NFL. Fast forward to today, he's on the Buccaneers. This was a great underdog story.
With the 14th pick, defensive end, Tennessee.
Number 14 pick. Defensive end Derek Barnett was drafted 14th by the Eagles. Coming out of high school, he was a 4-star recruit who committed to Tennessee. He had a great college career, which is why he was drafted above TJ Watt. Well, it didn't work out in the NFL. He has been a decent role player and today is a veteran player for the Miami Dolphins. Pick. Safety Malik Hooker was drafted 15th by the Colts. Out of high school, he was a 4-star recruit who committed to Ohio State. As a rookie, he had 3 interceptions in his first 7 games before tearing his ACL, which ended his season. He was okay in 2018 and 2019. He then unfortunately tore his Achilles in 2020. He then signed with the Cowboys in 2021 and has been with them since. Honestly, he has been one of their more underrated players. Number 16 pick, cornerback Marlon Humphrey was drafted 16th by the Ravens. Coming out of high school, he was a 5-star recruit who committed to Alabama. He left college after his sophomore year since he redshirted as a freshman. In the NFL, he has been dominant, especially in man coverage. In 2020, he signed a 5-year, $98 million contract, which made him the second highest paid behind Jalen Ramsey. In 2025, he's still going strong, looking to help the Ravens get over the hump.
With the 17th pick.
Number 17 pick. Defensive tackle Jonathan Allen was selected 17th overall by the Washington Commanders. He was a 5-star recruit and committed to Alabama. In the NFL, he has been very consistent. In 2018, just his second season in the NFL, he has 8 sacks as an interior lineman. It's great to see the Commanders doing good, since he stuck it out with them all these years.
With the 18th pick.
Number 18 pick. Cornerback Adoree Jackson was drafted by the Titans 18th overall. He was a 5-star recruit who committed to USC. He did everything at USC, from returning kicks to wide receiver and, of course, playing corner. He had a solid first 2 years in Tennessee. Then, in 2019, he suffered a knee injury, so he only played 3 games. The Giants then signed him to a 3-year contract. In the first 3 seasons with them, he was a plus starter. Then, in 2024, he played more of a rotational role. He signed a 1-year deal with the Eagles in 2025. Number 19 pick. Tight end O.J. Howard was drafted by the Buccaneers. He was a 5-star recruit who committed to Alabama. He was named the offensive MVP of the 2016 National Championship game. He also ran a 4.51 40-yard dash at 250 pounds.
Now we're into the 251-pound inline tight end that runs 4.51. It's crazy.
Making him one of the most athletic tight ends ever. Honestly, early on he showed some flashes, but injuries and consistency got in the way. He was more of a role player, but at least got a Super Bowl win in 2020. Number 20 pick, offensive tackle Garrett was drafted by the Broncos. He had a unique journey to the NFL. He enrolled at a junior college and became a standout player. He then got offered to play at the University of Utah. After one great season there, he went to the NFL. His first couple of seasons were just solid, not elite. In 2020, he broke out especially as a pass protector and was awarded a second-team All-Pro selection. In 2021, he signed a 4-year, $68 million contract. He just received another massive 4-year deal in 2024. Overall, he's one of the better offensive tackles in the NFL. Number 21 pick, linebacker Jarrett Davis, was drafted by the Lions. He was a 3-star recruit who committed to Florida. His career with the Lions started well. As a rookie, he had 96 tackles and 2 sacks. In 2018, he posted 100 tackles with 6 sacks. He was also becoming a great leader. Injuries and his role being reduced had his career go from a future star to just a role player. He hasn't played in the NFL since 2022. Number 22 pick, edge rusher Charles Harris was drafted by the Dolphins, a 4-star recruit who committed to Missouri. His NFL career has been underwhelming at best. Today, he's more of a veteran presence/role player. He was a part of the Eagles' 2024 Super Bowl run. I'm sure the Dolphins wish they had selected T.J. Watt. Number 23 pick, tight end Evan Ingram was drafted by the Giants, a 3-star recruit out of high school who committed to Ole Miss. His athleticism and upside had the Giants intrigued enough to draft him. As a rookie, he had 64 receptions, 722 yards with 6 touchdowns. His second season in the league was cut short by injuries. In 2019, he made his first Pro Bowl appearance of his career. By the time 2022 hit, the Giants had grown frustrated with his inability to reach his max potential. The Jaguars signed him to a 1-year deal. In 2023, he had his best season ever, 114 receptions, 963 yards with 4 touchdowns, earning him his second Pro Bowl nod. His last 2024 season was plagued with injuries. In the 2025 free agency, he signed a 2-year deal with the Denver Broncos. Number 24 pick, cornerback Garrett Connolly was selected 24th by the Raiders. He was a 4-star recruit who played at Ohio State. As a rookie, he barely got to play due to a shin injury. When returning from injury in 2018, he had a good season. He posted 15 pass deflections and 3 interceptions. However, in 2019, he was traded to the Texans. New head coach John Gruden wasn't a fan of him, so he moved him. For the Texans, he had a starting role, but another season-ending ankle injury in 2020 happened. He played for the UFL in 2024. Then later that year, the Cowboys signed him. He was later released after he was planning on retiring due to plaguing ankle injuries. Brill Peppers was drafted by the Browns 25th overall. Coming out of high school, he was a 5-star recruit who committed to Michigan. He played multiple positions at high school and was an insane athlete. As for the start of his NFL career, he wasn't living up to his college versatility, where he was playing linebackers and safety. He was traded to the Giants, where he got a little better, totaling 87 tackles, 11 pass deflections, and 2.5 sacks in 2020. Today, he's on the Patriots, where he was really good in 2024 before injuries happened. With Mike Vrabel in, we expect a big season from Peppers in 2025. Next pick, defensive end Takkarist McKinley was drafted by the Falcons 26th overall. He played his college ball at UCLA. In the NFL, in his first 2 seasons, he had 12 sacks, which was a decent start to his career. In 2019, his production dipped and he missed the last 3 games of that season. In 2020, he was waived by the team after a failed trade request. He signed with the Cleveland Browns in 2021. After 11 games, his season was cut short after another torn Achilles. Since then, he's been more of a practice squad player. Number 27 pick, cornerback Tre'Davious White was selected 27th overall by the Bills. He was a 5-star recruit who committed to LSU. He's one of the only players here who stayed all 4 years in high school. As a rookie, he made an immediate impact with 69 tackles, 4 interceptions, and 18 pass breakups. In 2019, he was selected to a Pro Bowl and a first-team All-Pro selection. He tied the league high in interceptions with 6. In 2020, he signed a 4-year, $69 million contract extension. Unfortunately, since then, he has suffered multiple injuries, including a torn Achilles. He bounced around a couple of teams and returned to Buffalo in 2025 free agency. Number 28 pick, defensive end Taco Charlton was drafted by the Cowboys 28th overall. He was a 4-star recruit who played for Michigan. The Cowboys were impressed with his size at 6'6", 270 pounds. However, after just 4 sacks in 2 seasons with them, they cut him. Effort concerns and him only wanting to rush the quarterback, not stop the run, was very frustrating. Injuries piled on too before he bounced around multiple NFL teams. Now he plays in the UFL.
With the 29th pick,
Number 29 pick, tight end David Njoku was drafted by the Browns. Out of high school, he was a 3-star recruit who committed to the University of Miami. His athleticism and size was intriguing to the Browns. Overall, he's had a good NFL career. He peaked in 2023, where he made a Pro Bowl, had nearly 900 receiving yards with 6 touchdowns. He's one of the better tight ends in the NFL today, when healthy. Number 30 pick. Finally, 29 picks later, TJ Watt was selected by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Coming out of high school, he was just a 3-star recruit. In high school, he played tight end and wide receiver. At the University of Wisconsin, he converted to an outside linebacker. In his final season there, he had 11.5 sacks. As a rookie, he had 7 sacks in 2017. Since then, he has been a complete and total monster off the edge. In 2021, he had an insane 22.5 sacks, where he tied Michael Strahan's record for most sacks in a season. Watt obviously won Defensive Player of the Year that season. Overall, he's led the league in sacks 3 times in his career. In 2025, he's still going strong today, looking to get the Steelers over the hump. Overall, who do you guys think was close to Watt in this class? Outside of Patrick Mahomes and Myles Garrett, no one else is close to him. If you enjoyed, subscribe and click on this video on the screen. See you next time.